Why hello there friend, I am kneeling on the ground because that was the only way to get both my face and my work in the shot. I've had quite a day. It's a Sunday, which I thought, how lovely, I'll have a little Sunday where I do some laundry, I take a nice long bath, which I did, and you know, just like entertain myself, have a nice little day. Well, guess what happened? My Wi-Fi broke. Do you guys remember in the last video I told you guys that I use a portable Wi-Fi for everything? Now that was actually just meant to be a temporary thing, which kind of ended up permanent, and I keep meaning to get myself sorted, like to sort my life out, and I just never did, and now it's broken, and that's just karma telling me, I told you bitch, you should have done that. Now I'm bored as hell. I don't even know how to live without Wi-Fi. So yeah, it's been a really boring day, but I figured since I have literally nothing to do, nothing at all, I would do some homework. Let me go through what homework I have. I only really have two main pieces of homework for this break. It doesn't need to be done for tomorrow, but I should do as much as I can because my friend Henry is coming from the UK, so I want to be able to like not have to worry about it too much when he's here. So I'll keep working until evening, but you know, with fashion homework, that doesn't really mean that much. It's currently like 6 p.m. and if I go to sleep at midnight, then I can get a good 6 hours in, but honestly, that really doesn't mean much. Let me discuss what I need to do. First of all, I've got all these pattern pieces. These are actually not all of them. I just figured that I would first start by sewing the body and the collar and then take things from there. So today I figured if I can finish sewing the body and the collar, I'll be happy. Then I've got to redraw the pattern. Now, as I explained in my last video, we are making woolen jackets, but because wool is very expensive and very hard to sew and you don't want to mess it up, we're gonna first test the pattern on sheeting material, which is this very, very easy to sew cotton material. So then we can test the pattern to see if the jacket actually looks nice or if we need to make some adjustments. But I figured it's going to be easier for me to make adjustments if I've already traced the pattern again. So then if there are some mistakes, then I can just fix it on that pattern and then just cut it out from there. I hope I'm making sense. So that's my homework for sewing, but we actually don't just have sewing. We also have, well, we have a few different courses. We learn like fashion history, we learn design ga and design non. Design non is like design as a subject. We do a lot of like color theory and things like that. And then we have design ga, which is learning how to draw designs. Anyway, my point is we have some homework for design non. We tend to do things like posters and stuff, and this is one poster that I did. We were just supposed to pick a theme and I picked Yume, which means dream. And I made a little poster about that. But this time it's a little bit more difficult because we basically have to... This time what we're doing is we're making a poster regarding color coordination. There's like different kinds of ways to coordinate colors: identity, analogy, intermediate, contrast, and complementary. And we have to choose 3 of these and make a poster using these. So we literally have to change the color of the clothes some models we found are wearing, which honestly is really difficult because you have to trace it so precisely. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this today or not, but that is one piece of homework that I've got. I've just been rambling a lot now. Well, first of all, let's start with marking my fabric, which I explained to you in the last video. I use this Chaco paper and the soft roulette, which I have here somewhere, and then I just press on it to mark the lines. So let's start by doing that. It's quite big. I might just go ahead and cut this into strips, or at least cut one of these strips, so then it's easier for me to use. So we're gonna take some of these, oh, I need my pin cushion. We're gonna take off some of these pins to let in the paper, and then I'm gonna slide it in between the 2 pieces of fabric. And let's start with this little corner. You have to be really tough with it because otherwise it doesn't show through. I'm basically destroying the pattern at this point, which is why we're making 2 patterns, I guess. We actually don't do this to our final product because we don't want to ruin the product. I've stood up because it's actually a lot easier for me to do this standing, but I just go through all these lines, not all of them, but the important lines, just to make sure that I get the bits I need onto the fabric. And then as you can see, you get all these blue little lines on the inside. And then those blue lines basically just become the lines that you need to sew together or do something with, or for example to mark where the button's supposed to go and things like that. You do have to do it a little bit roughly to make sure that you get nice clear lines. Because again, this isn't the final product, this is just a test. to check the pattern and everything. So it's okay if the material isn't beautiful because it's irrelevant to the final product. See, this is where having no Wi-Fi gets really boring because I just really want to listen to like Today I Found Out or something. I like to have YouTube playing in the background. I don't like to be alone with my thoughts. I will say I am happy with this Checo paper. It's doing quite a clear job. Sometimes you get one and it doesn't really show very well. And it's like, what's the point? As I've done one side, I'm going to pin it back together just so that I can unpin the other side and everything still stays in place. This isn't a tutorial, by the way. Why am I speaking like this is a tutorial? Do your homework too. I'm actually not the best person to do homework with because if I'm near someone while we're trying to do homework, I just keep talking. I can't shut up. Is it raining? It's raining! I've got washing out. What do I do? Is it raining heavily? It's raining heavily! Oh my god! So the wind isn't strong enough to get to my washing, so we're good. Let's finish this off. Okay, so I've pretty much done this part. Oh my gosh, it's getting on the table, but it's fine because it washes off with water. I've finally gotten to do this whole bit, and I'm just going to go ahead and do the same to all of these, and then it's time to start sewing. Okay, I finished those rather quickly. I don't know if you can see, but on the inside they've got these blue lines. So now I know how to sew these. I'm going to go ahead and wipe the table because it's blue and wash my hands. And then let's begin sewing. Great news, my friend, the Wi-Fi is back. I'm like scared to even touch it because like it keeps turning off. I'm hoping it's going to be stable enough for me to do the live stream that I was planning tonight. I'm just so happy that I don't have to keep working in silence anymore. But yeah, I really need to sort out my life and get real people Wi-Fi and get real people SIM cards and stop relying on this thing. I'm so scared it's gonna turn off again. I'm like touching it like this. And it stopped working. Here she is, my bad boy of a Juki. I actually got this for a really good deal. For like the first month of joining Bunka, they let us have like sick discounts on machines and everything. This thing I literally got for like half price, which is insane. And it's got my college's name on it, which is so cute. Like it says Bunka, like yes, we love that. I've already tested it, it seems to be working fine. So let's start sewing things together. Right, everything is marked. This is Ushido, which means back. I have to sew these parts together. So let's start by pinning things where they need to be. I'm gonna go ahead and take off the paper now because I feel like it's ready. Oh, it has actually gone through quite nicely, the blue. I'm so nervous. I get so nervous when it comes to sewing because I'm 90% sure that I'm going to mess up somehow. I just never remember how things are supposed to be. Plus, I think the most difficult part is there are like 4 different kinds of jackets that we're allowed to make. Some including double-breasted, a men's jacket, a normal tailored jacket, and what I'm making is a princess jacket, but then I've kind of added my own little bit to it by adding the peplum. And so the way that makes it difficult is the teacher only shows us demonstrations on a regular tailored jacket, and they have like different parts and stuff, so it's hard for me to translate in my head like what's supposed to go where in place. Do you know what I mean? Bear in mind, I literally couldn't even thread a sewing machine 6 months ago. Let's just pin things into place and then see how it looks and then decide if that looks right or not. I think it would be the opposite way. Wait, am I supposed to sew these 2 pieces together? I'm confused. Oh my gosh, I'm just so confused now. Okay, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't know, there must be some way of doing this. But at the very least, if I make a mistake, I can just take out the thread and redo it. So I think I'm just gonna go for it. Yeah, the teacher did say they wouldn't match perfectly, which they're very much not doing. But we're gonna try to sew what I just put together and we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of pulling the lower piece of fabric, because that's the one that's bigger, to kind of straighten out as I sew. Oh, it's not bad. Oh, look at me! That worked out. Ha! I can take on anything. Well, it's not beautiful, but it'll do. Well then, we'll just do the same with the other side. That worked out quite nicely. Look at me! Yeah, okay, well, at least I figured that out. Whew. Now I think I will just go ahead and sew the two back pieces together, and then the whole of the back of the jacket will be done. This looks like it's going to be a really easy step because it looks like it fits perfectly, which it does. Excellent, this is going to be an easy one compared to the other bit, because the other bit doesn't fit exactly right. Oh, I need to get rid of this pin. I actually love doing this kind of homework. I do complain a lot because I'm me and I just complain and that's who I am, but it feels really good. I mean, first of all, I like it because I can listen to things in the background at the same time. Recently, I've been really loving Would I Lie to You? Well, it's one of my classic favourite British shows, but that one is available on YouTube. It's so funny. I highly recommend it if you would like to watch some British comedy. But my point is, this is the kind of thing that you can do while listening to something, because it doesn't take up 100% of your mind power, as opposed to, for example, writing or maths, where you have to really focus and use your brain. And well, for me at least, I can't listen to music and do homework at the same time, or I can't listen to like a podcast and do homework at the same time. But when it's homework like this, I am happily listening to podcasts and things like that. My favourite podcast is probably, ow. That was dumb. Oh no, I'm getting blue on this. Well, I can just wash it off. My favourite podcast is probably the Tiny Meat Gang podcast by Cody and Noel. This machine, I swear, is so loud. It's definitely louder than the ones we have at school, which worries me. I always feel like there's something wrong with my machine, because listen, it's so loud. It's really like going for it. It's just always making noise. I always feel like maybe the bobbin's in wrong, and then I check the back, but the bobbin's fine. And at the very least, the machines at school are much quieter than this, but they're all brother. This is Juki. I don't know, is it a Juki thing? And there we have it. Let's have a look. That worked out all right. It's supposed to go out a little bit in the middle here, because that's where the body's supposed to go. As my teacher always says, there is no straight lines on a human body. Some wisdom for you. So great, let's do the front. My Wi-Fi is finally working again, so I'm just watching Would I Lie to You.
When you put it like that, it sounds ridiculous.
This is really how I love to spend my Sunday, just listening to something funny and just doing what I need to do. Yeah. Another victory for the Mandarin. This all seems to be going well, but it seems to be going too well, and now I'm suspicious that I've done something wrong. I'll just go ahead and sew the front to the back, and then look. I don't know if you can see. You can't see at all. Well, look, it all fits together somehow. There you have it. It's all coming together now. And now I think I need to sew the shoulders together. And then once I've sewn the other shoulder, I just need to sew these parts down, though I believe it needs to be hand sewn. And then that's the body done, and then I just need to attach the collar. Cool, it's all going to plan. I actually don't know if you know how long it's been. It's currently 9:30, so it's been 3.5 hours. It does take quite a bit of time. I feel like it looks like I've done basically nothing, but see, now I just need to sew these parts down, because as you can see, I've basically sewn the body together apart from the peplum, which I don't know if I'll do today. It depends on how much time I've got at the end. And now I just need to sew these parts down, but where do I start? I need to think about this. I'm gonna go ahead and put the sewing machine away now. I'm not really sure why, but for some reason we're supposed to do this by hand. So I'm gonna be doing it by hand. I'm using this kind of thread. It's called shitsukeito in Japanese. I don't know what it'd be called in English, but it's basically the kind of thread that is quite a thick hand sewing thread that you would never leave on the final product. It's just something to keep it in place while you're working on a project, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use this to sew this down. First I press on it to fold it down. I should probably iron it. I don't really think it's that strict though. My iron at home really sucks, which is why I haven't actually ironed any of this. I really should, but the irons at school are much better, so I figured I'll just sew everything together and just iron everything later. I am just really simply sewing around. I don't have any terminology in English, so I don't know what to tell you. There is like a better technique of doing this, but this is honestly just the easiest, the quickest, so I don't think my teacher's gonna tell me off. So I think we're fine. And once I've sewn all this down, I pretty much just need to attach the collar. I'm like impressed by how well this is all going, because normally sewing at home does not go this well for me. So maybe I'm improving, who knows? Yeah, it does need an iron, but I can just do that when I arrive at school next Monday. I'm excited. Tomorrow is the Bunga Festival. I'm gonna be taking around Yuka, the photographer I work with sometimes. He gets embarrassed being in places alone, I guess. He just asked if I could show him around and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I don't mind. And Enna told me that she's gotten me a birthday present. My birthday was about a month ago, but I'm not complaining. I think that's really nice that she got me something. Anyway, I'm excited to know what that is, and she'll be bringing it to school. I just want to know what it is. She says it's really cute. And I think Enna knows my style. My nose is so blocked. I think I'm gonna sneeze. Oh my gosh, the allergies are really coming for me right now. But yeah, I'm excited to see everyone. I've been home for the past few days, just doing chores and stuff. I've got so much to do all the time. There's just never an end for this girl. But I did go out for Halloween. It was really nice. I think I made some new friends, so maybe I'll be hanging out with new people. For Halloween, I did that photo shoot as a demon, but I ended up being a witch. And Piper was my cat. People keep asking about Piper. She's basically just found that she doesn't really like being on camera all that much. So she might actually end up not being in many videos after all. How do you like my jacket? No, it does look ridiculous because the peplum's not on. The peplum is like supposed to be like a frilly bit down here, and it's made of this material and stuff. But as far as the fit goes, I think it fits quite nicely actually. I'm quite happy with the fit. With this, I am going to just sew down the sides again, but not at the top, and then I'm going to attach the top to the jacket, and then I might call it a night because it's currently 11 o'clock at night, and tomorrow I've got to work at the culture festival at my college, so I need to be bright and early. And now I'm just going to go ahead and attach the collar, though I'm not certain how to do so. I'm not very good at imagining how things will be once I've sewn something, so I need to see it in action. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it 100. It's reached midnight. My brain is tired. I've been doing this for 6 hours now, and I think I'm just gonna stop here actually, because now I'm like at that point where nothing makes sense and I don't understand anything. And I think it's not the best time to continue, but I think I almost got where I needed to be. It's not like it's the end of the world if I stop here, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop here because I have so much to do tomorrow. It's gonna be a busy day. It's nice and rainy and the rain is making me even more sleepy, so I think I'll be off to bed now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope this video was at least a little bit interesting. I feel like it has been a little bit dull. I do say that a lot about my videos, and it's just because a lot of my videos is just like my daily life, so to me it's like this is just normal day-to-day life. So to me it's been a little bit dull, but I do hope that you found it interesting. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Good night.